So my name is Persh. I'm a full stack web developer, machine learning developer, security software developer, and data developer. Also, I'm an active open source contributor, having previously contributed in GSoC and GSoC. Also, I got an opportunity to be a campus ambassador of the UCR and selected as a contributor in GSoC in my first year also. So today I'll be taking the very first session of your internship where we'll dive into the fundamentals of version control. We'll learn about Git, GitHub, and how you can start contributing to open source projects. Toward the end, I'll also guide you on how to get involved in prestigious programs like GSoC and GSoC. If you are new or doesn't know anything about Git and GitHub, even open source, then also you can join. Stay with me till the end to get the maximum value from this session. So let's get started. What says Sanskar? So let's start. So before starting, let me tell you what is the need of version control in our student life, or as well as after 4 years, 5 years, when you guys are going to go for your jobs or whatever you want to do. You want to be a freelancer, you want to be open source contributor. What is the need? Basically, I want to tell you that. So in today's world of software development, having a solid understanding of version control systems like Git, GitHub, and version control, it's not just an advantage, it's an essential need for you all. Whether you are building personal projects or collaborating in teamworks, or you are thinking to contribute in open sources, these tools from the foundation of modern development workflows will work for you in long time span. Through this session, I'll be delivering practical college level guidance for you all on how version control works. And you'll know how to use Git and GitHub effectively and how these skills directly apply to open source contribution. You learn all of this. You'll gain a clear understanding of each concept, not just in theory, but with a real world relevance. By the end of this session, you will be well equipped to start your own journey into open source. So let me present my PPT and let's get started. Do tell me is it presentable to everyone or not. Oh, cool. So as I said, we are having our very first workshop on version control and open source. So before starting, the first word came is version control. So basically, what is version control? Any guess? Any idea? Anyone? No worries. Version control is a system or tool that helps developer to track, manage, and control changes made to code over time. It allows to record every single modification done or find or revert to previous changes or versions and compare the previous changes or current changes. Also, it helps you to do a collaborative work with other devs. Basically, let, let me explain you with example. Think of it like a time machine of your code. You can go back to earlier versions, understand who made changes and when, and resolve conflicts if multiple peoples are working on the same file. Yeah, yes, you can find your previous versions, but version control is essential in software development as it brings structure, safety, and collaboration to coding projects, whether you are working solo or with a team. So here we go. So here's the agenda. What did you get in today's 1 hour workshop? You'll get to know about what is version control. You'll get to know what is Git, why it is essential in software industry, and why it is necessary for open source. Same for GitHub, and I also tell you how to integrate Git and GitHub, and also how to push your VS Code projects into directly GitHub repositories. And at last, I'll tell you what is open source, how to contribute with open source. I'll tell you step by step. And at last, there is a bonus section in which I'll tell you what is GSoC, how to contribute it, how to apply, and GSoC also. In the whole series, in the whole PPT, you will get links, commands, which are essential for your open source contribution. Let's start with version control, as I said. So basically, there are two types of version control. Three types of version control. Basically, first one that is known as local version control, also known as LVCS. LVCS, that is an acronym for local version control system. So LVCS does that. It tracks changes on your local machine, and basically, it is a basic method where files are copied manually after each change. Like example, you can say revision control system, but it has some limitations. That is, it has no collaborations and has a risk of data loss and no backup plans. Coming on second part, it's known as centralized version control system, also known as CVCS. So it is used as a central server to store all versions of a project. Developers pull the latest code from the server and push changes back. Example of that is SVN, that is known as subversion, or CVS, or perforce. Limitations of this is also is a server dependency. If the server fails, everything is at risk. That is known as central. And the last and the most better version of version control is distributed version control system, that is known as DVCS. So every developer has a full copy of the entire repository, including its history, and no need for a constant internet connection. Changes are tracked locally and synced laterally. The best example for DVCS is Git. Git, and if you all know, there is one tool called as Mercurial. Yes, Mercurial. An advantage of this system is it is highly available. You can perform faster operations, and it is much safer with better backup options. Git is the best popular DVCS today. As I told you earlier, Git is the best popular DVCS today, is the core of how open source and team-based development works in the modern world. So it's all about version control. Hope you all like it. Let's deep dive into Git. What is Git? In Git, you will learn everything. What is Git? How is it necessary for software industry? How is it necessary for open source? Let's do it. So understanding Git, why it's a game changer for open source and software development. So first question is, what is Git? Let me explain you that. What is Git? Git is a distributed version control system, as I told earlier, DVCS, created by Linus Torvalds very earlier, literally in 2005. It is designed to handle everything from small to large projects with speed and efficiency. And it tracks and manages changes made to files in a project, especially source code. With Git, each developer has a local copy of the full project history, which allows them to work independently, merge changes, and collaborate efficiently. That is open source. Git stores your project history. Yes, Git stores your project history in a repository. Lets you It lets you branch off to develop features without distributing the main code and later merge everything back together. I know it is sounds like very complex, but I'll explain you later on. Very easy. Let me explain. So, first one, importance of Git in the software world. It makes collaboration very easy. Multiple developers can work on the same project simultaneously without conflicts. Second most important thing is safe and reversible. You can always revert back to a previous version of your code if something breaks. You can get back the history of your code. And third one, efficient developing workflow. Branching, committing, merging, and pull requests, streamline project management. It's all possible with Git in software industry. How is it important for open source? So, foundation of all major open source project platforms like GitHub, GitLab, and Bitbucket rely entirely on Git. It supports community-driven development, enables thousands of contributors to work on the same code base through forking and pull requests. Also, transparency and accountability. Git logs every change with the author's name and message, improving trust and coordination. In a nutshell, I'll tell you, in short, Git is the backbone of modern software industry, both in industry of open source and software engineering, empowering teams to collaborate globally, safely, and effectively. So it's all about Git, but let me take an example and explain you what is Git actually with a real life example. We all are students and assignments are our best friend. So let me take one example based on assignments. Imagine you are working on a group assignment with three classmates. Without Git, if you all edit the same file and send if you all edit the same file and send versions over WhatsApp or email, you'll likely overwrite each other's work or lose track of what changed. With Git, each student can create their own branch to work independently. Second, they all can commit changes with clear messages. Third one, they merge everything back into one clean final version without any mess. And at last, we can revert mistakes if needed. So this ensures that everyone's contribution are tracked and no work is lost. That is Git. A very first thing that you should learn, well, that is Git. Coming on GitHub, again, I'll explain you everything about GitHub. What is GitHub? How is it necessary for software development? How is it necessary for open source contribution? So, understanding GitHub, why it is game changer for open source and software development. So again, GitHub is also a web-based platform built on built on the top of a Git. It allows developer to host, manage, and share their Git repositories online over the internet. Your Git repository, your Git code, it allows you to share your Git repositories over the internet or make it online. While Git handles version control locally on your machine, GitHub brings that process to the cloud, as I said, enabling collaboration, code review, issue tracking, and much more. Again, GitHub provides a visual interface for working with Git and offers tools to manage your projects, whether you are working solo or with a global team. So let's come on importance of GitHub for an software development. First, collaboration platform. Teams across the world can contribute to the same code base using features like pull request, code review, and issue tracking. Project hosting and management. GitHub repositories act as centralized hubs for your code, documentation, and release history. And professionally, visibility. Developers use GitHub to showcase their skills, host portfolios, and contribute to real-world projects visible to recruiters. That is related to open source contribution and GSoC and GSoC, etc. So how it is important for open source? So it is a home of open source. Most popular open source projects like React, Python, Linux, TensorFlow are hosted on GitHub. I think you all know about this. These all are hosted on GitHub. Again, GitHub is a very easy contribution workflow. Developers can fork, clone, push, and create pull requests, suggest changes to public projects. These keywords like fork, clone, push, I'll explain what are these keywords. Again, GitHub. GitHub is a community, so it increases community engagement also. GitHub facilitates communication through issues, discussions, and collaborative documentation. It allows all. Let me again explain what is GitHub with a real life example. Again, that assignment one. Imagine you and your three classmates are working on a group coding assignment for a college project. Many of you are doing. Instead of emailing files back and forth or copying USB drives, you create a GitHub repository for the project. One student creates the repo and adds other as a collaborator. Each of you clone the repo to your local machine and works on separate parts of the project using branches. After that, when you are done with your part, you push your changes to GitHub and create a pull request for review. All done. After that, your team reviews, comments, and merge the code all in one place. What is the result of all these things? Result is it is an organized teamwork, no overwritten files, complete version history, and a polished submission. So GitHub brings a real-time collaboration, clarity, and professionalism to student projects, just like in real software companies. So some important keywords in Git and GitHub. The keywords are repository, fork, pull, push, clone, commit, update, and merge. Let me explain all of this with an example. Let's say you and your three friends are working on a college website project together and it's hosted on GitHub. This time it's not hosted on, it's not saved in one's drive and you all are copying it through drivers, pen drive, USB drive, flash drives, etc. Now this project is hosted on GitHub. So, by example, what is repository? Think of the repository as the main project folder on GitHub, where all your files, code, and updates are stored. It is a repository. What is fork? Fork. You want to make changes to a popular template, someone uploaded, you work like you want to make a change to any template, you fork that template, you fork that repository. Now you have your own copy of that project under your account to work on freely. Now, what is clone? Clone is to start editing the project on your laptop. You clone the repository, basically downloading it locally while keeping it connected to GitHub. What is commit? As you complete a part of the assignment, say you design the homepage, you commit your changes with a message like added homepage. It's like saying, here's what I changed and why. So basically, you are telling that this is the original code and I have done this with that commitment. That is known as commit. Then again, what is push? Once your local changes are ready, you push them to GitHub so your teammates can also see and access the updated code online. What is pull? Meanwhile, your teammate has updated the login page. You pull those changes to get the latest version of the code on your laptop. Now your local project includes both your homepage and their login updates. What is the use of update keyword? If any bugs are found, you fix them and update the code by making another commit and push. This keeps the project improving over time. What do you mean by merge keyword? Once all team members have finished their parts in a separate branches, you merge everyone's work into the main project branch, combining all contributions into one final project version. This whole workflow, this whole workflow, including fork, clone, push, pull, update, and merge, makes group work smooth, avoid conflicts, and mimics how real companies manage software projects. The definitions of these keywords are written on this PPT. I have not read that definitions. I explained you with some examples. So how to integrate Git and GitHub? The steps are written here. The very first step, first you have to install Git on your system. Download and install Git from the official website, that is https://gitscm.com. After that, this allows you to use Git commands from your terminal or VS Code. The second step is set up Git one time only. It tells Git who you are. So your commands are linked to your GitHub profile. Like the command is git config _global user dot name and that your name. At that place, your name, you should place your name. After that, step 3, create a repository on GitHub. Go to github.com, make your account there, click on new repository, name it, choose whatever you want. You want to make it public, you want to make it private, and create. Don't initialize it, only create it. After that, create open project locally. Create project locally. Create a folder on your system or open a project in VS Code, open terminal, and move into that folder. Now after that, you can use command git init and initialize the Git in your local folder. This turns your local folder into a Git repository. Now, how to add files in Git repository? So you have commands for that: git add dot and git commit -m initial commit. This stages all files to be committed, and your changes are also committed here. And how to push code from VS Code to GitHub? Firstly, inside VS Code, open the project folder, then open terminal, initialize the Git, and commit your files. After that, link your GitHub repository by copying the repository URL from GitHub. HTTP is recommended for the more security purpose and connect it. And step 9, how to push your code. For code pushing, here is a command git push _u origin main. And if the main doesn't exist, you can rename your branch by git branch -m capital M main. So this is the steps how to push code from VS Code to GitHub. So it's all about Git and GitHub and how this both works and how it is essential for software development and open source contribution. So now let's talk about open source. So now your Git is fully integrated with GitHub. You can start collaborating, committing, and contributing easily. So what is open source? Open source basically refers to a software whose source code is freely available for anyone to view, use, modify, and distribute. It promotes transparency, collaboration, and innovation, allowing developers around the world to work together on solving problems and improving softwares. This is about open source. Examples of open source, as I said, Linux, VS Code, React, Python, Firefox, etc. These all are examples of open source. And the projects are hosted basically on GitHub, GitLab, or Bitbucket. Let me explain you open source with a real life example. Imagine your college shares a blank assignment template in college docs or Word with the whole class, with the specs like anyone can access it. You can copy it your drive like forking. You can fill in your answers like modifying it. If you improve the template, example, add helpful headings, you can share it back with the class or teacher. Others may reuse your improved versions or build upon it even more. This is just like open source software, a shared base built and improved by the community for the community. In a nutshell, open source is how real world tools like Linux, VS Code, Python, and even React are built, open to learn from, to, contribute and grow together. So after all of this, the only thing I want to let you know, guys, how to contribute to open source step by step. So first, learn the basics of Git and GitHub, as I told you earlier. You can revise it and take notes of it, and then you can start open source contribution. Learn the basics of Git and GitHubs. Before contributing, you should understand Git commands like clone, commit, push, pull, branch, merge, etc. GitHub, like using GitHub, creating a repo, forking, pull request, issues managing, etc. Then, firstly, set up your GitHub account, create an account on GitHub, set up your set up your profile professionally. Don't don't paste anything like something which sounds unprofessional. And last, add a profile, readme, optional, but it is helpful. And find a beginner friendly project. Look for repositories with labels like good first issue, beginner friendly, help wanted. You can use sites like GitHub Explore, good first issue, up for grabs, help wanted, etc. Also, you can visit sites like GitHub Explore and check GSoC or GSoC platforms or project list also. So setup. So after finding your projects, you can fork the repository. Go to the project repository on GitHub. Click on the fork button that is placed on the top right column of the GitHub. You can clone your fork locally by using that command git clone https github.com slash your username and project name dot git. Then again create a new branch. And why creating a new branch is necessary? Because branching is necessary to protect your main code and don't avoid mess and changes in that code. For that, you can use command git checkout minus b your branch name. Then make changes, edit the files as required. You can fix the bugs, add features, you can reduce the typos and improve the docs, you can improve the docs and add comments and many more. After that, state and commit your changes by using previous command that I told, git add space dot. After that, git commit underscore m and commit that like you are supposed to you are supposed to design a login page for an organization and you have you have modified the the password security. Then you can place that password modified, or more secure in that commit version. Then you can push your branch to GitHub. So by using command git push origin your branch name. After that, you can create a pull request. We are here creating a pull request. So how to do it? I explained. Firstly, you have to go to original repository, not your forked one. After that, GitHub will usually show a compare and pull request button if you have pushed it properly. Click on it, write a clear title and description of your changes. If it got accepted, then the pull request will be granted. If again it's asked to make changes, you can again repeat the same steps. You can make edits locally, then repeat the same steps by adding, committing, and pushing it in the main branch. And after that, you can pull the same request automatically. The same pull request updates automatically. And then you can celebrate. You have done your first open source contribution, and you are now an open source contributor. The bonus section is you check the Git history. You can list all your commits by the command git log. You can revert back to the previous commits. That's the safest way. If you want to undo your latest change, but keep history use. So you can use that command git revert. It creates a new commit that undoes the one with that ID. This is the safest and cleanest way, especially in open source projects. If you want to reset back completely, warning, it will delete all the commits. Only use if you are more than sure. You can use git reset space double dash hard. This command will reset all the previous commits. The best command I found on Git and GitHub version control systems, that is git diff. If you want to see what changed between commits, like there are two git commit IDs, you want to find what changes we have made with the author names, etc. You can use git diff. You can place both the commit IDs, and as a result, you'll get all the changes made in timestamps. And if you want to check out an older version temporarily, you can use command git checkout with that commit ID. But keep in mind, when you use this command, you will enter a detached head state. You are not on a branch. It's for looking around or copying files. To go back to your branch, you can use git checkout and your branch name. So what next after learning all of this? And once you have mastered the basics of version control, understand how to contribute to open source, and having strong problem solving abilities like DSA, logic debugging, etc., you are now ready to take your journey to the next level. The opportunities ahead are participating in open source programs. Now you are eligible to apply for prestigious open source programs like GSoC, GSoC, Hacktoberfest, Outreachy, MLS Fellowship. These programs connect you with real world projects that makes you a part of global communities. It provides a boost to your career. It adds values to your Git and make your resume also stronger. One who understands Git, GitHub properly, contribute to real world code bases, and collaborate on open sources. It shows that you are job ready oriented and technically skilled. When you are working on bigger projects, you can build and contribute to full-fledged software frameworks or even start your own open source project and lead a team. You can also do mentorship and leadership. Having contributed earlier, you can now mentor beginners, help in managing repositories, and even become a project maintainer in open source organizations. And conclusion of all of this is after learning Git, GitHub, open source with problem solving, you are not just a student, you are a global contributor. This skill sets open doors to internship, remote work, fellowships, and a strong career foundation in tech. The bonus tips are start with fixing typos or improving documentations. Don't go for very big projects that you have taken and unable to solve. Read the project's contributing guidelines and code of conduct very properly. Stay consistent. Even small contributions matter a lot. So we are done with Git, GitHub, version control, and open source. Let's talk about GSoC and GSoC. So what is GSoC? GSoC is an acronym for Google Summer of Code. You can find out more about GSoC from their official website. GSoC is a global paid GSoC is an open source program where students and beginners contribute to real world software projects under mentorship from experienced developers. And they gain stipend also, which range from somewhat $1,500 to $600. It varies from country to country. And the whole amount is not paid to you in one time. You can get paid in evaluations. It increases your learning, like it provides you hand-on sections on working on large real-world open source projects, learn clean code practices, Git communications, and project planning. It also provides you mentorships from experienced contributors. The participating organizations are 100 plus global open source organizations like Python, Mozilla, Apache, Kubernetes. You can select and apply to orgs with a well-written proposal. The most necessary part is proposal writing. If you write a well-written proposal, then you are having the maximum chances to get selected. The future benefits of the GSoC is it is recognized by many companies, the whole fan group, you can say. It boosts your resume and GitHub profile. It provides you network with open source communities, and some contributors become a long-term maintainers also. So what is GSoC? It sounds similar to GSoC, but it's different. It's an acronym for Girl Script Summer of Code. You can find out more about GSoC with on their official webpage, that is https://gsoc.girlscript.tech. So what is GSoC? It is an India-based open source program. It will focus on women and beginner-friendly contributors in tech. It's open for all genders. You you can't get any stipend, but you get top, but you can't get any stipend. But the top performers get some badges and receive swag certificates and some goodies from GSoC. Even you get some goodies from Postman API also. The learning you get, that is, it's perfect for beginners in open source. Those guys who are interested in GSoC, they can start their preparation from GSoC also. And you can get a guided membership, webinars, and community support from GSoC community also. It also helps you to get a hand-on session, hand-on practice with Git, GitHub, and collaborative development. The participating organizations has 50 plus beginner-friendly projects in web dev, ML, app dev, even some of them having cybersecurity based projects also. You can choose projects and start contributing after onboarding. The future benefits are first step to open source contributions. You can build confidence and idea of collaboration and how to do a collaborative work with a team. And you can get good coding experience and proper problem solving skill. And you can get a great community network and recognition. So that's all. We are at the end. It's all about GSoC, GSSOC, open source, etc. I know the session sounds like a college lecture, but it is not possible to explain the whole version control, whole open source contribution in just a single lecture. It takes time to learn about Git and GitHub, how to link the hands-on session. If I take hands-on session on this topics, this session will extend approx 2 to 3 hours. And many of you are having your semester exams. And I don't think so. You guys are going to spend your 2 3 hours just to learn these things. You can
Okay.
get
Thank you
resources on,
so much for your valuable contribution.
you can
Now
get many
I want.
resources on YouTube which helps you to learn Git, GitHub, open source properly.
Okay. Thank you, Spurs, for your valuable
So
information.
what whether
Now I want to conclude this session.
it's just an informative session, you all
Okay.
know that it's just an informative session. I'm not committing that I can make you master in Git and GitHub and version control. That you can learn you by own. You can learn it from your own resources and you can get many resources. So I have to leave now and Sanskar will take all your doubts. And
Okay.
if you need
Uh,
any help from me, you can text me on LinkedIn and WhatsApp. Thank you.
okay. Thank you so much, Spurs. Now I would like to draw your attention towards some more open source contribution kind of things. Like I am also an open source contributor at Wikipedia. I have contributed with the Wikipedia Media Wiki Club, and you know what? Like at the end of that event, I got to have some graduation ceremony kind of thing. You can spot me here. Like we have visited Meta office as well. So you know what? These open source contribution have endless opportunities. Like we don't know even like कि हमारे पे कितना ज़्यादा open source का contribution चल रहा है. Like for example, you all guys know about something that is called as Express.js, right? Anyone who is from web dev, you should know about this Express.js node like library. Okay, so like I just search for Express.js, and if I search on like GitHub, Express.js GitHub, okay. So like I got this Express.js official repository. Okay, then like I can go with the issue sections. In this issue sections, I got to see some things like there are several issues. All the green issues are like optimized and like इसको किसी ना किसी developer ने इसको fix कर दिया. But there are still few bugs and issues that are listed in this website, and we can as a developer we can go and like contribute those issues, and we can make a change. Like many of the people have like given them a pull request, as Sparsh have like told you guys ki what is pull request, what is issues and all those things. So let's come to this pull request section. We can see that many of the students and that working professionals have contributed there. Like you can see that tick mark, that green tick mark here, that is like that is given by them and they are approved. And in this there are reviews required, and then in this there is an cross matlab like this is like reviewed and like they aren't like happy with this change.